Dear friends, I want to wish you a Shabbat Shalom. And on this Shabbat, we'll be reading the Torah portion of Chukat, which has many interesting events, laws, messages. And I want to focus on the death of Aaron. Because in this week's Torah portion, 2 out of the 3 leaders, the 2 brothers and sisters, the family of Moshe, who led and guided the Jewish people from slavery to freedom to accepting the Torah, to be ready to take on their mission of God, to turn this world into God's world, God's garden. 2 of them, Miriam and Aaron, pass away in this week's Torah portion. But Aaron's passing is very unique because it is all laid out in a very methodical way. Moshe takes Aaron to Hor HaHor, mountain on top of a mountain in current-day Jordan. And there's a bed there, and Aaron takes off his clothes that he wore as the high priest. He then lies down in the bed, closes his eyes, positions himself, and then with the kiss of death, God takes his soul so seamlessly, so natural. It says that Moshe envied the way Aaron passed and said, I want to have the same passing. But there was one thing in Aaron's passing that I want to discuss. And that is that it wasn't just natural, that there wasn't a struggle of sickness, of not knowing when, how, where. But Aaron, who to the last moment of his life was busy doing his duty and mission, especially as the high priest of the Jewish people, the great spiritual mission. After he passed, his son Elazar became the high priest. And at the moment of his passing, Aaron takes off his clothes, puts it on his son Elazar, passes the baton of what he stood for, what he lived for, and watches as his son Elazar naturally puts on the clothes and fits into the position. And then he lies down and gives his soul back to God. There's no greater joy, there's no greater feeling for a parent than knowing that whatever I stood for, whatever I believed in, whatever I worked hard my entire life for myself, I was able to pass on to my children. And in a seamless fashion, they are exactly like me, and perhaps even better. This is something that has driven the Jewish people forever. We were even given the Torah predicated on guaranteeing God that we will pass it on to our children seamlessly. For us, education is not about giving our children a career or a chance to make money. Education is about passing on the belief, the conviction, the ways, the nuances, the morals, the values of who we are as a Jew, of what we are living for, and the mission that we were working towards is exactly the same mission that our children will work towards. And to see it pass on seamlessly, knowing that though physically you may not be here, but whatever your life represented spiritually is continuing. This is the most meaningful thing in a person's life. This is what Moshe really coveted. Unfortunately, Moshe's children did not continue in the way that Aaron's did. This week, I joined tens of thousands, I can't even tell you the number, maybe 100,000, who came by the Ohel of the Rebbe connected to his yard site, which was Tuesday. And for several days, there was a stream of people waiting in line to have a moment to do a prayer at the Rebbe's Ohel. To ask the Rebbe to beseech on our behalf strength and courage to continue living as a stronger Jew and to storm the heavens to bring Mashiach right away. But more importantly, every year I go, there are new people there. There are people that are embodying everything the Rebbe stood for. Everything the Rebbe sat for hours and talked and communicated and sent shluchim to reach out. All of those things are growing every single year. And the Rebbe is not here with us physically and spiritually. He's guiding us. But yet, he is so alive and here because everything the Rebbe talked about in our generation has taken on a life for itself. And those who do not even call themselves followers of the Rebbe talk the language that the Rebbe had talked for years publicly and written and conversed. This is the greatest legacy that anyone can have. We as individuals hope that it passes on to our family in this way, and those who we touch. The Rebbe did it for our generation, and we owe it to the Rebbe to pass on what we know and our connection to one more person, to make sure that they embrace